Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel, and I hope you stay. For today's makeup look, I am going to be creating this natural bridal look that I perform almost every weekend on my clients because I do work weddings. I do offer airbrush services, so today is going to be a little different than what I normally do. I'm going to be doing traditional makeup, so you won't get to see me do airbrush. Maybe on another video you'll catch me doing airbrush. We're going to stick with the browns and golds and the neutrals because that's what I get asked for a lot. This is the most classic look I do on most of my brides, and they love it every time, so it's very popular, in high demand, and I love the way it turns out all the time. So if y'all want to see how I got this look, then keep on watching. Okay, so I've already primed and prepped my face, and I like to do that a little before I start filming just so I can have a little time to let it set in and adhere to my face, just to give me the perfect and flawless foundation I'm looking for. So we're gonna dive right into one of my favorite foundations right now. It is the Fenty Beauty in the shade 160. So it kind of matches perfectly with my tan right now. I could go a little lighter when I'm not so tan. This foundation is very matte, which I was never a real big fan of until I found this foundation. It isn't matte to where it makes me super dry looking. It's matte to where it makes me not look so oily and cakey and gives a perfect finish for me, I think. So I'm gonna start off by just taking a few pumps. I'm gonna be taking my damp beauty blender. Now that I have my foundation on, I'm going to be going in with the Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Light Neutral. When I first tried this combination with the Fenty Beauty Foundation and the Shape Tape Concealer, I learned that the Fenty Beauty Foundation dried very quickly, so I had to quickly apply my Shape Tape and blend in. When I did it the first time, it wasn't very blendable when I applied the concealer after my foundation was already kind of set in, so I like to do it very quickly. Also, taking a damp beauty blender does help it blend out a little better since the foundation is so matte. I'm gonna go ahead and prime my eyelids with the same Shape Tape Concealer. Now I'm gonna take my setting powder, the Huda Beauty in the shade Pound Cake. My favorite setting powder right now. It is seriously so good. It smells amazing. It works amazing. Gives you a clean, sleek under eye. Now that my under eyes are set, I'm gonna take a big fluffy brush. This is the Jeffree Star and Morphe collaboration brush, the JS2. I'm gonna take that same setting powder from Huda Beauty and set the rest of my face. Okay, now that my face is all set and there's no tackiness whatsoever, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my Zoeva contour palette. I'm just going to take this lightest shade right here and I'm going to contour out my cheeks. I like to contour before I do my eyeshadow so it can sit on a little longer with the bake underneath my cheekbones so it can really sculpt it out, give it a nice sleek contour. And I feel like it blends out a little better when you have the powder on, then you can kind of wipe it away and it just blends so seamlessly. So I'm gonna take that lighter shade and contour out my cheeks. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with the darker contouring shade and really sculpt them out. For bridal looks, I really feel like a little extra makeup than what you'd normally wear is the way to go. In pictures, it's just a tad more noticeable and makes the pictures look amazing. So I highly recommend going a little bit further than what you're most comfortable with because the pictures will turn out great. Okay, now I'm gonna take my Airspun translucent powder and bake the underneath of my cheekbones to really carve it out. I'm gonna bake my under eyes too, just to catch any fallout I have from my eyeshadow. So for the look today, we're gonna stick mainly to browns and golds because the spectrum of browns and golds can go so wide. You can do very light brown, you can do darker brown, you can even add black to the outer corners just to smoke it out a little bit more, whatever your preference is and whatever looks best with your skin tone. I'm gonna go in with the Morphe 25D palette. It is a whole bunch of neutrals. Super neutral, super bridal, so that's what we're gonna use today. To start out with my transition color, I'm gonna be using the Morphe E27 brush. It's just a big blending brush. To start out with my transition color, I'm gonna be going in with this shade right here. It is super light, super blendable. It just gives an all around nice tint to my lid so that the rest of the shade will blend out seamlessly. Now that my transition shade is on, I'm gonna go in with the next darker color that I'm gonna be using, and that is this brown right here. It's more of a coffee brown, kind of gives it just a little bit of a darker tint. I'm gonna place that right underneath my crease and blend it up. Now that the second darker shade is on, I'm going to take a little bit of that first color that I used and just blend those two out. I'm gonna take one more shade that's a little bit darker to really darken up my outside corner. I'm gonna take this shade right here. It is way more of a chocolatey brown, so we're gonna go in with that. I'm really packing on that darker color just because I'm going to blend it out again. Now that my brown shades are on, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my pop of gold that I'm gonna put on my inner lid. I'm gonna be using the Jeffree Star and Morphe collaboration palette. I'm gonna be using this gold shade right here. It's called Millions. And I'm gonna put that all over the inner lid. I'm gonna be using this flat brush right here. It is the Jeffree Star and Morphe JS11. I'm gonna spritz that with my Morphe setting spray. This gold is kind of chalky and I can see it having quite a bit of fallout, so I baked my under eye to catch any of that fallout. So hopefully it does its job and we don't get any on my foundation. Now that I have that gold on my lids, I'm gonna go ahead and do my liner and lashes off camera and I'll be right back. Okay, now that my liner and lashes are on, I'm gonna go ahead and move forward to the rest of my face. I'm gonna go ahead and shape out my brows and fill those in real fast. Now that my brows are on, I'm gonna go ahead and wipe away this bake and go ahead and finish with bronzer and blush. I'm just gonna take that fluffy brush again and wipe away. Now that the bake is gone, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my Sugar Rush bronzer and bronze up my face. I'm gonna just be taking that same fluffy brush to bronze with. Now I'm gonna go in with my blush brush and apply some blush. I'm gonna take my Juvia's Place palette and I'm gonna use this more coral color just so it gives a little pop. Like I said, you always wanna have a little bit more than what you're comfortable with, just so in photos you will be able to see it. In photos, sometimes you can look a little washed out, you know, and a little color to the face always helps with that. So I recommend just doing a little more than what you normally would do. Okay, my blush is finished. I'm gonna go ahead and go smoke out my under eyes with the same colors that I used on my eyes. I'm gonna take the Morphe and Jeffree Star collaboration brush, the JS13, to smoke out my under eye. Sometimes brides are a tad hesitant when it comes to putting darker colors on their lower lash line, and I totally get it. You think that it would make your eyes look smaller and closed off, when actually it makes them look a little larger. It enhances the eye color. It really pops and brings out your eye color. I think it looks best, honestly, on everybody to have a little bit of color on the bottom. Now, if you're going for a more vintage look, then no color on the bottom, just a nice wing liner or something like that. But for a traditional bridal makeup look, I think it does look best with just a tad of color on the bottom. We are our own worst critics when it comes to looking our best. So when we do something that's not on our norm, we don't think it looks good. Take it from a stranger, someone that doesn't see you all the time, your makeup artist, and take their suggestions wisely. Don't be so closed-minded into just asking your mom or your bridesmaids on what they think of your makeup, because they see you every day. They know what your makeup looks like every day, so they're gonna go with what you think is looking best. Color on the bottom really does widen up your eyes and will look amazing in pictures. So just take it into consideration on adding some color on the bottom. Not necessarily liner, but just some shadow. It just looks amazing. So I would highly recommend. I'm gonna put some mascara on real fast and I'll be right back. I'm gonna put a little bit of highlighter on and then do my lips. For my highlighter, I'm gonna be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit palette. I am gonna use this shade Starburst and Gumdrop. I like to mix them together, always. I'm just going to take an eyeshadow brush. It's a blending brush. I'm gonna spritz it with some Morphe setting spray. Okay, now for my lips, you know me, I'm just gonna stick with a nude. I think it looks best with my complexion and my skin tone, so I'm just gonna go with my nudes. I'm gonna use the lip liner from NYX in the shade Natural. And then I'm gonna go into the shade Stripped by Makeup Revolution. Next, I'm gonna use the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Praline. I'm gonna take a small pointed brush and I'm gonna put some highlight in my inner corner. I'm gonna use this lighter shade just to make it pop a little more. Now I'm gonna set my face with the Morphe and Jeffree Star setting spray in the Starberry scent. It smells so good. You need to try it. After I set my face, I just take my damp beauty blender and kind of just damp it in. So that, guys, is the finished bridal look I have for you today. This is the most classic look that I do on majority of my brides. They think browns and golds look the most flattering, so that's what I perform. All my brides always look tremendous after they get their makeup done because this look is one of the most popular looks that I come by. It's so flawless but natural, and you can glam it up a little more if you want, dress it down, anything like that. It's such a fun look to do. It makes everyone look amazing. And yeah, this is the finished look. And guys, make sure you like this video, give it a thumbs up if you're interested in this look. Please subscribe to my channel so you can see all of my videos. I would love the support, and please turn on the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys. I appreciate the support more than you will ever know, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah.